Hi, this is Bill, and you are on Finest Travel Beat with Angela and Bill. Today we take you on board the Disney Wish, which is Disney's newest and fifth cruise ship in their fleet. We will show you all around the ship the passenger areas. We'll also explain how Disney is a much different cruise line than other cruise lines, what the differences are, advantages and disadvantages, and also explain how the Disney Wish is a different ship than the other ships in Disney's fleet. There are some nice improvements and some things that we really think were misses by Disney. And of course, throughout the video, we'll give you our commentary and information and help you decide whether the Disney Wish is the correct cruise ship for you and your family. So we hope you enjoy this video. Thank you again so much for watching and giving us your time. We try to keep these videos as short as possible, but there's a lot of information to unpack and a lot to show you. Now, the Disney Wish is the newest ship in the Disney fleet. It was built in 2022, so it's just over 2 years old. It is a large ship at 144,000 tons. It has 1,238 cabins, with a maximum number of passengers of just over 3,400 and almost 1,600 crew. As you can see here, the Cheshire Cat is being a little bit naughty and looking under a dress, but seeing all the mice there. One thing that I will mention, and you'll see it throughout the video, and I'll mention it throughout the video, is the ship's artwork, which is simply amazing. Now, the Disney Wish is a little unusual that it only does 3- and 4-night itineraries on weekends during the week. It sails out of Port Canaveral, Florida, and generally stops at Nassau and also their private island of Castaway Cay in the Bahamas. Now, we had terrible weather the first couple of days of the cruise, but as you can see here is the Grand Hall, which is located on decks 3, 4, and 5. The Grand Hall was where they did the sail away party, and they also did the Mickey's pirate party. I'll explain a little bit about that later in the video as well. We're going to start off our video tour on deck 3 and the forward part of the ship. As you can see right away, the decor is very different than other Disney cruise ships if you've been on them. The other cruise ships are a darker wood, more Art Deco in decor. This is kind of lighter, a lot of lighter wood paneling. It would almost put you in mind of the Grand Floridian in Orlando if you've ever been there. But again, the decor is just very different. You'll see that throughout the video. Here you see the Walt Disney Theater, which was closed at the time. We'll circle back around and show you that as the video goes on. The Walt Disney Theater, they had not only 3 production shows, but they also had movies playing during the day. We caught Inside Out 2, which was really cute. We had never seen that movie before. But they do have first-run movies on the Disney ships. I'm going to give you a little view of the various shops also located on Deck 3. There is the Pandora store, and they have other jewelry in there. We were able to get Angela a Pandora charm for the Disney Wish. That's something that she collects on all of the cruises. Unfortunately, couldn't really get in there. Being that it was a 3-night cruise, and we had ports 2 days, the shops were closed the majority of it, and when it was open, they were jammed. Right over here is an area called the Bayou. It is a New Orleans-themed lounge. They do have some New Orleans drinks. They had beignets there, which were excellent. We had those. Dipped them in a little bit of chocolate. It was very, very good. They also have things like hurricanes and other drinks. One thing that I think is a bit of a miss is that this area was open on both sides, and I think it really would have worked much better if it was a more enclosed and intimate area. Throughout the video, you'll see there's some things about the ship that we loved and some things we really were not huge fans of. Now we're going to take you into one of the new venues that got the most buzz. This is the Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge, which is obviously Star Wars themed. When we were filming this, they were doing photos of kids and adults, Star Wars fans generally, with lightsabers, which is kind of cool. Real nice. The kids really seem to enjoy that. Obviously, the photos that they sell you are an additional charge. Behind the bar is a screen or a window that makes the lounge feel like you're on a ship, and that it moves every so often. that screen will change and it will take you to a totally different location. Pretty cool, very interesting. You can see here now we have moved and we're just kind of looking at planets. Now, it's interesting, they do ask you to stay only 45 minutes there, as I guess it gets pretty popular with Star Wars fans, especially in the evenings. Walking aft on deck 3, as you can see again, everything is very light. The colors are much lighter than on the Dream or the Wonder, Fantasy, or the Magic, where they're more of a brass and dark wood theme. Here is Nightingales. I think I have a little video of that later. That's a piano bar, but don't expect it to be a traditional piano bar with the sing-alongs and the jokes. This one is more where they'll have different themes, where they'll play Disney hits or Broadway show tunes. They were having some sort of a meeting as we were walking by this. I didn't want to interrupt them. But again, that it's a little bit more of a champagne upscale bar than anything else. Now, below us on deck 2, I did not film deck 2. There's just too many kids. I try not to film children if I can avoid it, but you have all the kids clubs underneath there. There's a ton of videos out here on the kids club. Disney has the absolute best kids clubs in the world. As you can see, all here is the Grand Hall. They were doing photos with the various Disney princesses and Moana. That's one thing on Disney Cruises. If your kids are into character photos, this is a place to go, because they are doing character meet and greets and photographs pretty much all day long on all 3 decks in different corners. They come out for about 15 minutes. The lines are not long. It's a great interaction. The smiles on the kids' faces is absolutely priceless. Now, one thing I'll show you, it's kind of neat over here, is going from deck 3 to deck 2, there's actually a slide that the kids can use. It's a dry slide to go down from deck 3 down to the children's areas on deck 2. Now, that area is also the check-in for the kids club. Next, we'll show you the 1923 restaurant, which is kind of split into 2 sides. Depending on what table you have, you'll enter one entrance or the other. This was the restaurant we ate in our first night. We won't show you a lot of the food. Again, as you've seen any of our other videos, we really aren't big fans of filming while we're eating. We kind of feel it's a private moment for us. It's also a little disrespectful, in our opinion, to other people that are trying to enjoy their meal than have people doing vlogging video reviews. But we'll show you a little bit of the food later on. If you're looking for that Art Deco theming that you see on most of the other Disney ships, this would be the restaurant you're probably going to like the most. This, again, as you can see, has the darker wood paneling. It's very much an early 20th century vibe to it. The food in general on Disney ships is fantastic. Service is great. Don't expect a Disney cruise line meal to be a quick in and out 45 minutes. It's generally going to take you an hour and 15 minutes or so to go through your appetizer, your soup, meal, and desserts. Disney dining, I'll explain that a little bit too. They do not have a My Time dining. They have 2 seatings, an early seating and a late seating. The nice thing about that, though, is that they schedule the shows that is opposite your dining time. So if you go for an early dining, you go to the show after dinner. If you have late dining, you go to the show before dinner. Also, the buffet is closed, so it's pretty much main dining, room service, or pizza in the evenings. This area I'm showing you right over here is some of the things that we used when they were building the ship and designing it. There's a video on the Disney Plus channel on the building of the Wish that goes a lot into the architecture and design of the ship. We watched that the night before, and it really brought everything to life. It was really interesting watching the decision processes that went in, and then going on the ship and seeing how it was actually executed. So if you're going on the Disney Wish, highly recommend watching that the night before. Now, we're still on deck 3, and we have returned, going back through the Grand Hall to the forward side of the ship. We're passing Enchanted Castle Jewelers and Royal Regalia. Those are a little more expensive stores. The jewelry tends to be much more expensive. They have the So you can see the different handbags there that are definitely higher priced than your lounge fly bags you'd find at the Disney parks. Again, as I say in all my videos, know your pricing before you get on or check the internet. Which reminds me, their internet plans are a little annoying. They are not cheap. They're somewhat expensive. I won't go into the pricing because it does change, but essentially they have 3 levels. The first level is a social plan, and then they have 2 other tiers. Now with the social plan, you can use Facebook and check on and add messages. However, you cannot do something as simple as checking an email or checking even a Disney website. It blocks pretty much everything other than your basic social media sites. So on day 2, after not having any emails, we were forced to upgrade. It wasn't much, it was $10 a day, but we still felt that the bottom level internet plan that's offered should certainly have email access. I love this little painting though. Angela won't let me buy it, obviously, but it's kind of a cutaway and shows you all the different venues and where they are. Spent quite a bit of time just watching this, looking at this, and really kind of enjoying and seeing, oh yeah, that's where that is. Here is Preludes. This is located outside of the main theater and then also the other theaters. On the other decks, here you'll get your popcorn buckets. If you want popcorn, you can get drinks, soda, cotton candy, basically anything you'd find in a movie theater. The popcorn buckets are refillable, so after you purchase it, you get a discounted price on refilling the popcorn buckets. Here is the Walt Disney Theater. It is the main theater. The ship cruise we were on was very full, but getting a seat was never really a problem. There's plenty of seating in here. There is also seating up the deck above us on deck 4. But do yourself a favor, and this is on every cruise, do not show up 2 or 3 minutes before the show starts, or heaven forbid, don't show up after the show starts, walking around, interrupting people trying to get a seat. That's one of our pet peeves. Show up. We usually get there about 15 minutes early at least, and that way we can find a seat that we like and have no issues or anything like that. We like to be on the aisle. Works out perfectly. Now, we are up on deck 4 now, and we're going to show you the Netherland Cinema. And there's another cinema on the other side. Now, on the other Disney ships, they have I believe it's called the Buena Vista Theater, which is a larger theater where they show movies. Here it's a little different. They have it split up into the Neverland Cinema, which you're going to see now very briefly. And on the other side is the Wonderland Cinema. Again, these are much smaller theaters, as you can see. The movie was going on, so I just filmed in here really quick. Just kind of show you the size of the theater itself. But again, this way they could have 2 different things going on rather than having one larger theater. They split it up into 2 smaller ones. Probably worked out pretty well. This day, like I said, it rained a lot, so there were not a lot of people doing outdoor activities. This day we were also in Nassau, which people tend to stay on the ship in Nassau anyway, so it was a little more crowded than most, and it stress tested a little bit. I'll explain to you about some of the activities and things like that as well later on. We are now in the Wonderland Cinema, as you can see, also much smaller than the single Buena Vista Theater that are on Disney's other 4 ships, but still room for them to have different venues and events in here. I would think they probably use this for group space as well. If there's presentations and stuff, that would kind of make sense that would be a great venue for them to use. All right, so let's talk about the onboard activities. Again, these cruises do 3 and 4 night cruises, so generally in a 7-day week, there'll only be 1 sea day. So, as you know, if you've been on a cruise, generally there is less onboard activities on port days than there are on sea days. Being that there's only 1 sea day a week on the ship, we felt that there was the onboard activities, particularly for adults, was a little bit lacking during the day. Now, don't get me wrong, there was a ton of stuff for kids to do, and for children of all ages. And there was a lot for the adults to do, too. There were trivias. There was the various different game shows that were going on. Here we're going to the Luna Theater. They did the Love and Marriage show, which is always entertaining. They held that here. They also did kind of almost like a Family Feud type of game in here. Luna is a 2-story venue. They also do some trivias in here. They did a 90s trivia that we surprisingly did pretty well at. But again, this is a two-floor venue. Maybe it was us, maybe it was scheduling, maybe it was the fact that it rained and everybody was inside, but it just felt like there was a little bit less to do on the Disney Wish, hi Angela, on our particular sailing than there was on some of the other sailings. Now, we've been on other Disney ships. We've been on the Dream 3 times. We've been on the Wonder, and we didn't feel that there was ever any lack of things to do on any of the ships, but we felt that for adults, there was a little bit more to do on those ships for us. That being said, you'll never be bored on a cruise ship. If you are, that means you're probably not trying hard enough to find something to entertain yourself with or be entertained by. We are going past guest services now. The guest services is where you'll go if you have any issues with your onboard account or you have any questions. They were able to help me out with the internet package there as well. Never really much of a line. Even the first and the last day of the cruise, it wasn't bad. It kind of moved. Oh, by the way, the artwork again is gorgeous. This mosaic here was one of my favorites. There's also a Pinocchio mosaic, which is absolutely amazing. Getting back to guest services, again, make sure you're checking your onboard account on a regular basis on every cruise. If you see any issues, go to them. They can help you out. They moved very, very quickly. Now we're back in Luna, this time on the other side of the ship. We're going to take you from Luna, walking aft, back towards the Grand Hall area. As you walk back over there, I just want to ask you really quickly, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. It really helps us out and helps show YouTube that they should be showing our videos to more people so we can help out as many people as possible. Now we're walking towards a place that is going to be very dangerous for us in the near future, which is the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. My wife Angela has been dying to take a child or grandchild to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and little good news, my daughter Caitlin just had a beautiful little baby girl. Her name is Brooklyn, and Angela is already going in here scoping out how we're going to take her here. Now, for people that aren't familiar, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is where they do kind of like little girls, and they also do little boys as well, makeovers and costume dressing. So there's some really, really beautiful dresses, and they make the girls' hair up really pretty, and the boys there, they have different captain's outfits and pirate outfits and things, but this is something she's really been looking forward to doing with a little for a long time, so we can't wait. There is an additional charge on this. I'm not 100% sure how much the charge is. A lot of it depends on the costumes and such and the package you purchase. This must be booked in advance, so I highly, highly recommend, if you are interested in doing this, book it absolutely as soon as possible. In general, Disney excursions and events, as well as their experiences, sell out very, very quickly after they open up. This here is the Wishing Star Cafe. As you can see, it's interesting. The menus on most of their bars and lounges are iPads. They do have physical menus if you like, but most of the things pop up on the iPad. You can get drinks there and also specialty coffees. We're going now to the Tangled Salon. This is a beauty salon where you can get your hair done, nails, typical treatments like that. Pedicures, manicures. They also, I believe, do shaves for men. This again, you need to book these in advance. Pricing varies. They are not cheap doing any of these on a cruise ship, but sometimes it's nice to pamper yourself as well. And let me just correct myself, actually, Hook's Barbery, which is where they do the barbershop, it's actually on the other side. It is on the starboard side rather than the port side. We're walking out now into the promenade area. This is a typical promenade, very nice, very wide, plenty of seating out there. You can see we're in Nassau. Started clearing up a little bit, but still wasn't really a great day. Nassau, if you haven't been there, they have a whole new port area inside the fence line that is a little bit less crazy than venturing outside of the port area. Prices are pretty expensive there in the shop, so just beware of that. Out on this promenade deck, they had shuffleboard, people playing shuffleboard. Places to sit, not as much seating as I've seen on other cruise ships. I think they could have had a little bit more of that. And as we go through the areas, you'll see that there's not quite as many places to sit and relax as on other ships you've been on. Here is the Marvel dining room. This is the second dining room. There are three on board. There's the 1923 restaurant, the Marvel, which is Marvel themed. Explain a little bit more about that later on. And then also here is Arendelle, which is a restaurant themed on the movie Frozen. The theming on the ship was absolutely fantastic. They really, really knocked out of the park with the artwork, with the decor, with the wallpaper, the paint, the flooring, the ceilings, the lighting, everything. This reminds me of old school Disney World when you went into something and they really removed you from your everyday reality and transport you in time to whatever the theme they wanted. So kudos to Disney. They knocked it out of the park with this ship. Great time for me to explain the dining. There are three main restaurants, as you've seen. There's 1923, Arendelle, and the Marvel dining experience. You will eat in each one. It rotates around. The waiter you have the same table number, and you'll have the same waiter and assistant waiter all 3 nights. So the waiters move with you from restaurant to restaurant. They each have a different menu. The menu is kind of themed on the dining experience as well, which was kind of cool. And again, there's no buffet, there's no nighttime dining. The attire on the ship was pretty casual. I was comfortable wearing a polo shirt and shorts throughout the whole cruise. Some people do dress up a little bit more, especially if they don't have photos. But unlike some other cruise lines, I felt there was like a lot less judgment as to what you wear to dinner on Disney cruises in general than there are on some of the other premium cruise lines. I should also mention that Arendelle is on deck 5. Walking forward on deck 5, on the port side of the ship is Mickey's mainsail. Now this is where you're going to get all of your logo items, your Disney Cruise Line related things, stuffed animals, t-shirts, as you can see, as the lounge fly bags. This was very large. This was larger than the other logo gear, basic gift shops on the other 4 ships, in my opinion. You get your magic bands here, Christmas ornaments, ship models, basically any type of collectible or gift toys that you would want. They had in there different mugs. Pricing pretty reasonable and a really nice selection. Again, the only issue is that it is closed when you're at port, so it gets very crowded the limited hours it is open. Here's the Enchanted Sword Cafe. And again, it's another one of those little small cafes where you can get coffees and some drinks. Not a lot of seating area again in there. There's seating area at the bars, but it's just kind of almost more of a grab and go thing with some bar stools. There is the photo gallery where these little kiosks there, you'll swipe your Key of the World card or your Magic Band and you'll be able to see your photos and purchase packages. Also over here is a Disney Vacation Club location where if you are interested in a DVC membership, that's where you'd go. Angela and I actually considered it, but realized that we don't have the time or the money to commit to a Disney Vacation Club membership. Walking you by the shops one more time so you can get an idea of what they have. But one thing that I will mention is that they moved some of the shows indoors. And while the Grand Hall is large in 3 levels, it was really hard to see anything. It got very crowded. The floor got crowded. It was very hard to get up to the railings on the upper decks. Again, when you have a ship that holds, 3,500 people, it's going to be very, very hard to take something that would be on 2 large decks all the way up on the top, open decks, and bring them into a smaller area. So there's really not a whole lot they can do about that. Now, here's a question for all you people as I walk back. I did not film it, but if you can tell me what deck the casino is located on in a Disney cruise, please put it in the comments below. We're walking back towards the Keg and Compass, which is a nautical themed bar. Rather than an English type of pub, it's more of a nautical theme. They had a lot of events in here as well. They did some liquor tastings. That's another big thing that they do is liquor tastings on the ship. That is an additional cost. Right here, they were doing an illustration course where they had a illustrator, an artist, one of Disney's Imagineers, on a screen teaching people how to draw the Star Wars character BB-8. We thought that was kind of cool. We did not do anything like that on this cruise. We've done one where we drew Goofy, and that was really a lot of fun. And we have the painting to take home, or the picture to take home. As you can see, the theming again, they have maps actually are on the ceiling. The lighting, I can't say enough about what a great job Disney did on the theming of the ship and the transporting you to whatever experience they wanted to transport you to. And there's Angela again there. Again, remaining on deck 5, we are walking out and we are going to walk into the top level of the Luna. This is where the balcony seating is. Angel actually tried it out. The sight lines are pretty good from those seats. I was curious as to whether you could see over those railings or not, but she said yes, it was no problem. You could sit in those seats and see everything fine. There's a bar rail area up on the top there with some bar type seating. This area off on the right, you can't really see over the other seats, but they do have screens there so you can see whatever is going on. Again, this venue is pretty big. It was a nice size, and they had a lot of different events going on in there. Over on the other side is the Triton Lounge. This, again, is another venue. It's about the same size as the Keg and Compass. This was less of a lounge and more where they would do different events. Just take a peek in there really quickly. They were getting ready for some event. I forget what it was now. But again, here, they do a lot of Disney trivia, Pixar trivia. Disney named that tune. If you really got to know your Disney trivia to win these contests, though, because obviously people on a Disney cruise know their Disney trivia. And you know what? Let me have a little fun with you while I show you the gym area. What is the color of the Disney hull? Is it black or is it blue? And what is the name of the color? If you know that, put that in the comments below. I'll walk you through. This is also on deck 5. This is Senses Fitness Center. They have plenty of exercise equipment. There's exercise bikes. They do spin classes here. There's also a lot of room there to work out. I would have worked out, and I visit these at least once every cruise, but unfortunately I have a beer in one hand and the camera in the other, so it makes it a little bit difficult. Now here's something a little bit unusual with this ship also. The promenade deck is on deck 4, but if you walk all the way forward, you can go up to deck 5 and go all the way to the bow of the ship. Now, if you want to get that Titanic photo, this would be the place to do it because you're going to get a really, really good shot right all the way in the front of the bow there. This area, I can't believe there was nobody up there with us, especially when everybody was on the ship. I don't think a lot of people know about it. If you look down there is the Senses Outdoor Spa. That is part of the spa area. There's some loungers. There's some hot tubs. There's also the rainforest area. I'll talk about that a little bit later on in the video, but that is an aqua therapy type of thing that Disney cruises have, where they have steam rooms and saunas and things of that nature. That's not something Angela and I usually do, but it's part of the Senses Spa, and you can purchase those for the length of your cruise. Here we're back down on deck 5 again. We've gone up to deck deck 6 actually was where the bow of the ship is. We're back down at deck 5. This is the spa where you would have massage treatments and different things like that. Foot massages, back massage, couple massages. Again, all that stuff's an additional cost. I did do a massage on the Disney Dream. There's a video on the Disney Dream up on the channel, and I really enjoyed that. Now we're up on deck 12. On the port side is the Rose, which is a lounge that overlooks the water. Also is the restaurants Enchant and the other specialty restaurant, the Palo Steakhouse. Both of those are an additional cost. The Palo Steakhouse is supposed to be fantastic. Enchant also supposed to be excellent. Both of those, again, additional charges. That area was closed at this point, so I wasn't able to film them. But just so that you know that there are a couple of specialty restaurants that are adults only there, and then also that lounge. Here is an area called the Hero Zone. This is they have sports courts up here, which is kind of interesting. The sports courts inside. They also set up a lot of different type of sports events inside. There were people playing basketball. That is a 2-level venue as well. And located right next to that Hero Zone is the Vibe, which is one of the areas for the older kids. Also the Hideaway, which is attached to the Vibe. That again is an area for your older teenagers. Now we're walking on deck 12. We're walking forward. As you can see, overlooking deck 11, the Lido deck, which is where they have the pools. There's the Funnel Vision screen. Funnel Vision screen, they show movies at night. And even during the day, it was bright enough you could absolutely see everything. That's something we really enjoy doing on cruises, is seeing the movies under the stars at night. Over here you can see the exit for one of the water slides. This is a standard water slide. This is not the Disney's first attraction at sea, which the Aqua Mouse. Show you a little bit about that. Back here also is, or up here is the Toy Zone Splash Zone. This is for the littles, particularly ones that aren't toilet trained yet. Technically, on cruise ships, children that are not toilet trained are not allowed in pools. That's according to U.S. law, even with swim diapers on. So this is a little area here where the littles can go back there and they can cool off a little bit and play in the water and have a little bit of fun. Really, again, a very, very cute area there. Right across from there for the bigger kids is Wheezy's Freezies. They have right there is various frozen drinks and things like that. You could also get adult beverages there as well. He's going to take you up to deck 13, which is the adult-only area and the adult-only pool. Now, one thing that I think is a miss on this cruise ship is that they really did not do a great job separating out the adult-only areas on the interior decks. The interior decks, the adult-only areas are kind of mixed in with everything else, which on other Disney cruise ships, the adult-only areas are very much separated out from the kids' areas or the family-friendly areas at night. The other thing is, to get to the adult-only pool area at the back, you had to... It was kind of hard to get to it. You didn't just walk right off of the Lido deck onto it like you would on most other cruise lines, and they have an area that says adults only. You had to either take a certain elevator up here, or walk up a flight of stairs and then walk all the way back. Now, one of the nice things is plenty of lounges, plenty of places to sit back here. So the area was nice. It was a beautiful area, as you can see. Rocking chairs. There's a beautiful Infinity Edge pool there as well. A nice bar area. Very comfortable seating. A really, really nice area, but quite frankly, a little bit of a pain to get to. I would have liked it much more if it was located on a more populated deck, maybe a deck down, made it a little easy to get to. And also because of the Aqua Mouse on the other side, you can only reach this on the one side of from the deck. You cannot catch it on the port side. You have to walk down the starboard side. There is a couple of pools back here, a hot tub or kind of where you can sit and there's a little water comes off you. Those Infinity Edge pools are beautiful. Now we're gonna walk to another thing that I think is a big miss on the Disney Wish, which is the Cove Cafe. The Cove Cafe on other ships has specialty coffees. It's kind of like a Starbucks type of thing, but unlike the other ships, this one did not serve any type of food, and that was to us a big miss. Was if for breakfast, grab and go options were very limited. Now maybe we missed them. If we did, please let us know in the comments below. But it seemed like the options for breakfast, to eating something quick, was either sit down breakfast, buffet, or room service. We would have loved it if there was one of these cafes where you could grab a pastry or a roll or croissant or something along those lines, but we didn't see it up here. It just was, they just had teas and coffees, and also it was a little bit of a pain to get to. You had to walk out on the open deck, and you had to walk kind of all the way around the one side to get to the other side. One area we absolutely loved was an area called Mickey and Friends Festival of Foods. They had a lot of different, I guess you call it like the food truck style thing. Here was barbecue. They had brisket, ribs, smoked chicken, pulled pork, kielbasa, all kinds of sides. They also had different barbecue sauces. If you know me, I'm a big fan of the Carolina barbecue, the vinegar-based barbecue. They had that. It was fantastic. They also over here had pizza. They had various pizzas. Quite honestly, I'm not sure if it was a slice we got, but wasn't a huge fan of the pizza. But we've had it on other Disney ships is good. We probably just got a bad pie, or maybe we got a plant-based pizza by mistake. Over here is a taco station where they will make different tacos and burritos, bowls. We had that one day for lunch. We had the barbecue one day for lunch. The food was very, very good. Lines got a little long. This was much more popular than the buffet during lunch the second couple of days. But the lines moved along. Here you can see the pool deck. The pool deck is interesting because they can cover that up for shows at night as well when they do Pirate Night, or they do the fireworks on here. Plenty of seating here. Again, hard to judge. Weather wasn't great, so I can't really speak to how difficult was to find a seat if the sun was out. 2 bar areas there as well. Never a problem getting a drink. Also, I should note that Disney does not have drink packages. You can get a cooler full of beer they'll keep on ice for you. You get a few extra beers. I believe it's if you buy 24, you get 4 free or 6 free. Pricing really wasn't terrible on the drinks, and also you can bring either a bottle of wine or a 6-pack of beer per adult on board at every port, which is a nice savings on a cruise, especially if there's a bunch of ports like this one had. Now I'm going to walk you back to the Marceline Market, which is their buffet option. This is also on deck 11. It is aft, as most of these are located. Actually, before we do that, let me just show you the Joyful Suites area. This in here is an additional charge as well. They have gelatos. They have different types of pastries, as you can see. Macaroons, different types of cones. They have some candy purchases as well, not a ton of it. We didn't get anything this time, but usually on a longer cruise, Angela will get a little bit of gelato with some various toppings on it, which is they're always very, very good. But again, this isn't included; it's an additional charge. But if you like Disney pastries and Disney cookies and cakes and cupcakes and all of that stuff, this is a spot you might want to stop on at. Now let's talk about the Marceline Market, which is their buffet area, as we walk you back there. Now, one thing in general I'll note about it is that we felt that it was a little bit too narrow and a little bit too small for what it was. Now, the food was fantastic, plenty of selections. I'm going to walk around here and show you a little bit of the food options. This was taken the day we were at Castaway Cay, so it was a little bit less crowded, or actually a lot less crowded, because most people eat in the buffet actually on the island. So you'll see a little bit of the food here. But in general, we just felt that the seating area was a little bit too narrow. The passageways, particularly during breakfast time, it was very difficult to walk from one end to the other. It just was just way too narrow. If you had somebody stopped waiting to get food, it was pretty much one-way traffic behind them. And again, on a cruise ship with a lot of kids on it, you got to watch your coffee and stuff like that you aren't knocked into or spilling. Again, a minor thing, just something that I want everybody to note, that just pay attention around there. It's a little bit more crowded than other ships, and a little bit less seating. We felt the other Disney ships had a little bit more seating in this area, and that seems to kind of be a common theme. Now, it may seem like we're overly critical, but we have to be honest with you. We try to give you honest information. If there's something we don't like, we'll let you know. But in general, we had a great time on the ship, and we'll recap it at the end. But again, Angela and I are very critical in general. When we go on a cruise, we enjoy it. We enjoy it very much, but it's kind of a working vacation where we're always kind of looking at who the ship is for, where they could improve, who might like it, who might not like it. And again, at the end of this video, I'm going to recap all of that for you and kind of break it down and let you know what our thoughts overall were. Now, here's a little secret for you. All the way at the back of the buffet in the aft part, they had that little station there where they had fresh shrimp and crab legs. We had already eaten, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would have put the camera down and taken a plateful of that stuff. One of the nice things is they do have that bar area that is in the buffet area as well, overlooking. You can see there's Castaway Cay. There'll be another video up on the channel explaining Castaway Cay and telling you about their private island there. Beautiful. We lucked out this day. We had some nice weather in the morning, so we were able to enjoy Castaway Cay. Now, we are walking outside of the Marceline Market buffet, which is in the aft part of the ship. We are walking forward, and again, this is all still on deck 11, looking off there to Funnel Vision, the television screen, and the pool area. Up above is Aqua Mouse. Now, that's billed as the first attraction at sea. It is a kind of a water slide with different exhibits going on. It's an attraction. We did not try it. I am not a fan of water slides or roller coasters or anything like that. But if you have, let us know in the comments below. Do you think it was, is it a thrill ride or just kind of a relaxing way around? Drinks. Let's talk about this. Soda, diet soda, water, iced tea is all included in your cruise fare. You don't have to pay extra for that or buy any type of package, which is really nice. And that's something to consider when you're buying a Disney cruise, that's included. So that will save you a little bit of money, especially if you're a larger family. And here we have the ice cream station where you can get ice cream and also some fruits. I should point out that in general, most of the buffet area and the food service areas, they do serve you. There was a couple places where you'd get your own, but in general, you are served by the staff there, which is definitely very nice. Here is your basic hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken tenders, fries. We usually get that on most of the cruises. Again, this is a 3-night cruise, so we didn't try this, but again, never really disappoints. And now we're back around to the Mickey's barbecue area, ending it up. Here, I just want to show you a little bit of the dining experience in the Arendelle restaurant. They had characters from Frozen. They were there. They had the violinist. They did a little bit of a show. They did some singing. They also came around to the tables and said hello to everybody. Really, really nice dining experience. And while we're on the restaurant theme, I'm just going to walk you back here, show you a little bit of the Marvel restaurant and the interactive show that goes on in here. Also, what was kind of neat was Spider-Man came around and he went to every table and took a picture with whoever wanted to take a picture with him. Throughout the course of the evening, the screens lit up with an interactive show on it. It was certainly a fun experience and awesome if you have kids that are into Marvel comics or the Marvel movies. Now, this is a probably good part for me to talk about who the ship is meant for. Angela and I have been on several Disney cruises. We book a lot of Disney cruises for people. One of the things I've always recommended is that Disney cruises are not just for kids. They are great experiences for adults as well. They have great adult areas. The kids that are on Disney cruises tend to be very well behaved. For the pricing, you're not getting kids acting like fools, quite honestly. Now, that being said, we found that the Disney Wish was a little bit less for adults and a little more meant for kids than other ships were. Now, if you're an adult that's really into Star Wars or into Marvel, then it certainly is for you. But if you aren't into those things, we found that there was a little bit less adult-oriented entertainment than on other Disney cruises. Now, will we go on the Disney Wish again? Now here is the show, the farewell show that they do before the end of the cruise. At the end of the video, we'll show you the pirate show from Pirate Night, and then also the fireworks at sea, which was really fantastic. And they don't do that on every sailing. Disney is the only cruise line that does fireworks. Now, before we give you our final thoughts, we'd like to ask you if you've enjoyed this video, you gotten any value out of it, hit that like button, please. And also, if you have been on a Disney cruise, certainly let us know in the comments below. Do you think our comments are fair, or do you think we're a little bit harsh on the Disney Wish or Disney Cruise Lines in general? Love to hear your feedback, your information. It helps us out. It helps other people out. And certainly, if you have gotten the value out of this and want to see other videos, we have a ton of cruise ship informational videos up there on ships and ports. Please subscribe to the channel. We were able to watch the pirate show and the fireworks from the deck at night. The weather held up for us, so it was pretty cool. You'll see the fireworks. It's, again, an amazing thing. Now, again, Angela and I had our issues with the Disney cruise on the Disney Wish, but will we sail on again? 100% absolutely. We still felt the value was amazing. It has the absolute best entertainment you will see on a cruise ship anywhere. It's got the best shows. We saw Aladdin and Little Mermaid as well. They are Broadway quality. They are the best entertainment you'll see outside of Broadway in New York City. The food is fantastic. The service is amazing. The decor is incredible. The only thing that we felt was a slight miss was some of the public seating areas. We could have used a little bit more of those, and they could have done a little bit better job separating out the adult-only areas and having a little bit more adult-oriented entertainment throughout during the day specifically. At night it wasn't bad, but during the day it was a little bit lacking in our opinion. And again, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate all the positive feedback we've gotten from these videos. As you may or may not know, they're very time consuming. I'm not a video editor. If my camera work isn't great, I apologize. But again, thanks so much for watching. And on behalf of Angela, we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye-bye, everybody.